Well, I think your analysis was very straight line. History doesn't run in a straight line.
Kid, you cannot tell your neighbor he is stealing ducks when you are stealing fowls.
As High Commissioner, I was wrong. As Charandas Prasad, I reacted naturally how any person would have.
I did not come here for that kind of abuse. I did not come here for that kind of abuse. If you're going to go down that road, I'll walk off.
But it's all okay once they're talking. If they were talking, I could not have been here today.
You got ADHD.
I got nothing.
Calm down.
I think I've done enough in terms of taking our team out of trouble from losing.
Tomorrow, Taylor. That's good. I'm reading the script now, and the first person that comes to my mind to play a detective,
Yes,
but
okay,
an
it's good.
erratic
Mikhail
detective
Rodriguez.
is Mikhail Rodriguez.
Why you not freaking slap an Indian? Why a man and slap a woman? Look, girl, how will you deal with that? You deal with that.
We must encourage platforms like this because it brings together different people and allows for discussions to take place in our country on a multiplicity of fundamental issues.
Kingdom, you apologizing for something you think I did is wrong. I don't want you to do that, and you should not have done that. Welcome to the call-in edition of the Freddie Kissoon Show. Welcome to the Friday call-in edition of the Freddie Kissoon Show. Thanks for being with us. A pleasant Friday evening to you wherever you are. If you are looking at the show in other parts of the world, good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening. We will ask you to hold your calls because we have a few things to show you. And while showing you, I prefer for you to see what we have to show you. What we have to show you is going to be beamed to thousands and thousands of people out in the world there. And they need to know what is going on in Guyana. What we are going to present to you is what is called in a court of law evidence. And we're going to show you how people lie and how people are manipulating a sad and consuming tragedy, how it's being used in the most immoral way. One of the most despicable acts of politics since independence is playing out in Guyana right now. An 11-year-old child drowned in a swimming pool, and politicians on the opposite side of parliament or the opposition, organization associated with them, the two private newspapers, the Starbuck News and the Kaicho News, and certain civil society organizations are just disrespecting this girl's memory, disrespecting the feelings of her parents, and are using this girl's tragic death for vulgar, nasty, unbelievable political mileage. And those adjectives I use could be backed up because I'm going to show you this evening what is going on. So I'm going to ask you to hold your calls. This young child died tragically, and all the circumstances of her death are being ignored, and the death is being embellished to suit the naked political agenda of some people. And what is the most despicable dimension in the desecration of this girl's memory is that Monday from 5:30 to 6 o'clock, this country was in serious trouble. This country almost had conflagrations, violent, fiery conflagrations throughout Guyana, in which people almost died, in which people were brutalized, in which little children had acid thrown in their face, and one teenager was raped, and for reasons beyond me and the people who know a father, he doesn't want the issue to go public. I think it's all you have to do. He has to appear in front of television, appear in front of social media, and you block his face out. But maybe he's afraid that people recognize his voice and they will know his daughter got raped. All of those things happened in the name of this girl. And then politicians got up and told this whole nation, you see what was happening Monday night? It was the ruling party people that were doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, hundreds of scumbags attacked people, robbed them, set fires to buildings for their own ugly reason, to get things, to loot people's store, to just sadistically beat people. And politicians in the opposition addressed the nation and tell the nation that was the work of the PPP, disrespecting the thousands of people who suffered from those monsters who attacked people. And they got on the public airways and say we must understand where those people coming from. They're unfortunate. The state must help them. In fact, Nigel, you said the state must help them. That is one of the most sordid, malignant, cancerous episodes in this country since independence. I saw a footage of young people rampaging in the name of this girl. I will speak to this girl's parents. It's just a question of time. I saw a footage of young people rampaging in Rob Street and pass an Indian man sleeping on the pavement and brutalize him, lashed him in his face, start to kick him up. And Terrance, Campbell, Nigel, Hughes, Aubrey Norton said those were people put there. Nigel Hughes said these people from the PPP, call them argent provocateurs, invaded protests and turned the protests ugly. There were no protests on Friday, on Monday afternoon. There was no protest anywhere with picketed demonstration. So nobody could have invaded those protests. All hell broke loose after the post-mortem. So there were no protests in the Amstel, protests in South Rumford, protests in Hope Town, people peacefully picketing. And then these argent provocateurs, Nigel Hughes word, came and chaos ensued. No, the chaos came about after the post-mortem said the girl was drunk, and the father said, this post-mortem ain't right. No, this is... And everyone living in Guyana, seeing from the footage, seeing what social media was bringing with these monsters trying to destroy Guyana. Nigel, you said it, and Aubrey Norton said they were agent provocateurs. So suddenly, after 5:30, when the post-mortem result came out, the PPP, by superhuman efforts, just got in Hope Town, over the West Coast, just a fantastic machine, perhaps one of the greatest political machines in history, just got hundreds of people to go to the streets and rape a girl, throw acid on school children. I mean, I'm asking you now, I'm looking at you and you're looking at me. Do you believe there's only one word to use and it's acceptable in journalism? Do you believe the masturbation of these opposition leaders? And that is occurring in the name of an 11-year-old girl who lost her life. You gotta hold the phone lines. I am going to show you some footage. The opposition got into the head of the parents. Innocent people, they want the truth. And they told the parents, don't trust the police, don't trust the government, don't trust the pathologist. A top-class pathologist. Don't trust him because the government asked him to do it. And so the parents requested 2 renowned, extremely competent pathologists from some of the best countries in the world. And the guys came down to do the post-mortem. All expenses, everything paid for by the government. Listen, look at how they treated this man. Operator, could you put video number 1, please? Look at how they look at the man's visage. Look how the man was scared. Now, what were they doing in the hospital compound? You thought they would welcome this man, and when he was walking, move aside so he could come and do his work and prove to them that the child was murdered. That is only a part of the footage. Right up the step, they were following the man. They were cursing. That was organized. They knew central figures in that protest, in that hospital pandemonium, knew those guys would have pronounced a cause of death that they didn't want to make public. And I believe what you just seen was to intimidate that pathologist. Could you look again, operator? Look at a globally renowned pathologist that was asked by the family. Look at the treatment he received while going to pronounce on the girl's death, which is what the opposition wanted. Operator, could you look at the circumstances of that man walking in the Georgetown Hospital? Could we get it again, please? Did you see at a certain point he turned back and looked? That is because he was being abused. That is the pathologist that the family asked. And you would think this man would be treated like a hero because he's going to find the smoking gun. He's going to show where this girl was brutally murdered. So you welcome the man with a red carpet. When he was going up the step, they were abusing him. Because there were people in that conspiracy that didn't want that man to do the post-mortem. But they got caught. The parents said, we want the post-mortem by these 2 globally renowned pathologists. So they had to say yes. The parents wanted to know how the young girl died. And so they got caught in a bind when the parents said, we want the 2 pathologists. They couldn't say, nah, man, the girl died by brutal violence, don't worry, the pathologist. They couldn't say that because they knew what the pathologist would have said. They knew how the girl met her death. That we have to talk about. Let's look at a night when Guyana almost burned and what Nigel Hughes had to say. Listen to Nigel Hughes.
I have a question pertaining to the call for the scrapes to return to the streets. We saw several businesses being looted. We saw citizens being attacked. It's understandable that these are individuals that can be reformed and should be reformed. But in the meantime, as we call them back out to the street, what do you say to businesses and citizens that are terrified of persons returning to the streets and what they're doing to innocent persons? We saw a truck driver being attacked, several persons being robbed on the West Coast last night. What do you say to these persons who are afraid of those types of persons returning to the streets at this point in time?
I think several persons up to now have indicated that they were agents provocateurs connected to one of the leading political parties that infiltrated the genuine, honest Guyanese who were outraged and started to create havoc and chaos.
Sorry about that. We had the right clip. It's just that that part I didn't remember that when the journalist was asking him. In case you missed that, you see, you repeat these things for emphasis. So I'm going to ask my operator to show that clip again. Listen to what the journalist is asking him and listen to Nigel Hughes' deception, deceiving the Guyanese people. Operator, please play that clip again. And I'm asking the viewers to listen.
Question pertaining to the call for the scrapes to return to the streets. We saw several businesses being looted. We saw citizens being attacked. It's understandable that these are individuals that can be reformed and should be reformed. But in the meantime, as we call them back out to the street, what do you say to businesses and citizens that are terrified of persons returning to the streets and what they're doing to innocent persons? We saw a truck driver being attacked, several persons being robbed on the West Coast last night. What do you say to these persons who are afraid of those types of persons returning to the streets at this point in time?
I think several persons up to now have indicated that they were agents provocateurs connected to one of the leading political parties that infiltrated the genuine, honest Guyanese who were outraged and started to create havoc and chaos.
What is deceptive about what Nigel Hughes is saying? I live in Guyana. I monitor what goes on in Guyana. It's my job. That's what I do. So I was monitoring what was happening when the postmortem was going on. There was no peaceful protest in the name of Adriana Young while the postmortem was going on. There were no people lining the road with placards in the afternoon of Monday. Nigel Hughes said agent provocateurs invaded peaceful protests, and that is what happened. That is absolutely untrue. The invasion of a street demonstration by agent provocateurs is a simple description. And how do I know that? Because I've had 55 years of social activism. I've picketed, I've demonstrated, I've been thrown in jail. I know about it. That is my life. This is how agent provocateurs operate. You with your picket, 20% can't work, 30% can't work, but 50% will work. And you picketed, and then the agent provocateurs come. We don't want 50%. We want the country. 50% and they're agitating people. That is what agent provocateurs do. Hear what agent provocateurs do. You have a protest and you're following the minister and you say, Mr. Minister, and the agent provocateur comes and say, yes, Mr. Minister, and he hits the minister and the police get involved and a scuffle. That is what agent provocateurs do. There were no agent provocateurs throughout Guyana on Monday evening, Monday afternoon, because there were no peaceful protests or peaceful demonstration. Nigel Hughes has to come here. He's a lawyer. He knows about evidence. He has to show. Hold your cards. There's a lot to talk about here tonight. He has to show us, the Guyanese people, the different parts of Guyana where the protests were going on, peaceful protests, and the argent provocateurs came. That is not what happened in Guyana. The post-mortem was completed, it was made public, and soon after, people began to loot. People began to loot in Main Street like fire, and it spread throughout Region 4, parts of Region 3, parts of Region 5. There were no peaceful protests in Region 3 on Monday afternoon, and argent provocateurs came. Thugs, hooligans, lowlifes, scrapeheads, or what you call them, were junkies, were beating people and robbing people and burning people's cars and burning people's buildings. There were no protests when that happened. Look who Nigel Hughes is calling agent provocateurs. Can we go to the other clip, operator?
There's the rip team, and over here, the scrape team. You understand? And we there alive as a fire right now. You understand? And they're going to get it right. That's what my Jesus Christ. Last night, I catch this. Why you wake up this morning and I barely go catch shillings. Don't speak. You get garbage bag. When you use garbage bag, scrap, rip. These opponents dangerous. You can't mess joke with these opponents at all. We looking good, eh? You got, no man, we ain't got call no more advice. I ain't take everything. Here's something now. The police are coming and look for y'all. The police see y'all for the cameras them, and they're coming and look for y'all. I don't know more look for the mother. Go look for the people who killed the little fucking you.
Where was the protest then that happened? There was no protest. Those people went and looted innocent people's business. A Chinese shop, supermarket was burnt in fire. There was no protest in the name of Adriana Young, and agent provocateurs came, invaded the protest, and lit the Chinese supermarket. So what the hell is Nigel Hughes talking about? Agent provocateurs, well, not only him. Hope we nothing. You know whom the gods wish to destroy, they first make. You know. To think that a nation was afraid and frightened at uncivilized monsters running around Guyana, and people, little children, pregnant women, were just waiting to see what's going to happen to their country. People cowering in their home because they're looting all over. And up in Northern Nigeria, you said the PPP, by some scientific miracle, organized hundreds of thugs across Guyana to infiltrate non-existent protests. Do you believe that? If you're 16 years and over, do you know what happened on Monday? These uncivilized thugs, these uncivilized scrapeheads who don't know what is poverty. I could tell you what is poverty tonight. This man sitting down here could tell you what is poverty that will shock you, that for days, weeks, you got nothing to eat in Workmanville. So I was a scrapehead, but I never scraped nobody skin and rob them. That is what Aubrey Norton and Nigel Hughes have said. And guess what these people are going to do next week? A country almost burned through some uncivilized hooligans who got no interest in Adriana Young. Some of them probably don't even know what's her name. One of them said, they gotta find the killer who murdered that little girl. He didn't know how to remember her name. And Norton said he is going to win the elections. And when he wins the election, he's going to change the commissioner of police. People are going to vote for that man to get 51% and run the government when this nation closed up its windows, locked its gate, and were cowering inside while these uncivilized scrapeheads or scrapheads or whatever jackass name they're known as were terrorizing a nation. Have you ever seen what went on in civil war in certain countries like Sierra Leone? When bandits who care about the politics of Sierra Leone was just running and robbing and looting people. And they call those people squareheads. I saw Nigel Hughes saying there, you know, you have to see these people's, see with them, the predicament, the economic situation. Well, I am the purest squarehead that came from Wortmanville without anything to eat when the day come. And I never run around and steal people's food and break into their house. Oh, I stole books from Michael Ford Bookstore, which is my employer. I work there. Nigel Hughes fighting desperately to be the consensus candidate of the AFC-PNC. And after what he said, you going to vote for that man? What is wrong? Whom the gods wish to destroy. Just hold your cards, because you need to see these things. Listen now, and I want to speak to Adriana's young parents, because they don't deserve what is going on, what is happening to them. Adriana Young died tragically in that pool, and she does not deserve people abusing her memory like this. Let's listen to Amanza Walton Deserve.
A lot has been said by me, by other MPs, about just the brutal murder of young Adriana and the
Do you like this politician to represent you? Are you going to vote for this politician? Well, if you are going to vote for her and you want her to be part of the government, you have an obligation to ask your leaders that you're going to vote to run your country questions. This lady made that statement, and she has a moral obligation to you, not to me. I wouldn't vote for Amanza Walton Deserve in a million years. So I don't care what Amanza Walton Deserve says. She has no obligation to me. I have no obligation to her. But if you're a PNC and you're going to vote for, and if you care about Adriana Young, you have to ask this lady one simple question. And this is it. Madam, as someone aggrieved at what happened to this young lady, you said she was brutally murdered. Please describe how she was murdered. Please describe what these people did to this young girl. You owe yourself, you owe to your children, you owe to your moral foundation to ask this woman to describe the brutal murder. Ladies and gentlemen, looking at this program, I do not think Adriana Young was brutally murdered. The adverb brutally connotes a lot of application of violence. The brutal is the extensive use of violence. The postmortem showed that the only marks, not of violence, but marks on that young girl's body was the bruises from the movement of her body in the pool on her knees. So who brutally murdered this young lady? Well, us whole nation would like to hear Amanda Walton description. She must know something to use the adverb brutally. She didn't say who strangled this girl, who killed this girl. She said brutally. Brutal is an adjective that involves the application of sadistic violence. But that's the lady you're going to go and vote for? And she has no obligation. You know what Amanda Walton did at this very table here? And when the PPP go to beat them, if an Ali is going to get a 2/3 majority in October, they're going to cry that the election was rigged. Because people see through them. You know what Amanda Walton said right on this table next to me? She has video of Barra Jack Dio offering, when he was president, offering the Venezuelan a sea route to settle the Venezuelan controversy. She said she has video of that. You know, Miss Walton deserves never produced that video because there's no video of Barra Jack Dio offering Venezuela a sea route to solve the Venezuelan. Another PNC executive member, Gary Best, told me he will get the video to me. I keep asking for it, it's not there. You see how these people deceive you and fool you. And then when people reject them and they lose the election, they cry that it's rigged. No, Amanda Walton has to describe for this nation the brutal murder of Adriana Young. But that's not the only dimension of this sordid thing. It is the political mileage. Miss Walton knows that there's no evidence of the brutal murder of Adriana Young, and some globally top class pathologists said she died by drowning. But Miss Walton wants you to rally around her and appreciate her as a politician, so she's using the young girl's death. I want to find out from the parents if they don't see this, if they can't see this, what is going on. This is how they are using this girl's death. I mean, that girl one of the most prominent businessmen in East Coast has sworn to me that Monday night a girl was raped, a teenager was raped. He's trying to persuade the father to go public. The parents of Adriana Young must understand what happened to that rape victim. Look at the children, this acid was thrown on their face. And these people are using Adriana Young to score political points. How can the parents allow this? Did you read what Darren Wade said about Wickford? Darren Wade is a die-in-the-wool opposition to the PPP government. And Wickford Burke said some terrible things about what happened in the postmortem room. And Darren Wade was there. And Darren Wade said, man, that is dishonest. That never happened in the postmortem room. I was there. Darren Wade corrected him. But do you know how many things Burke has got away with? But Darren Wade credibility is involved. So Darren Wade said, no, man, what you're saying did not happen. Those are the kind of people, Burke, that is destroying the opposition's image. Darren Wade has come to the rescue of Darren Wade's credibility by saying, when you say that, you're making me a party to that confusion that you said existed in the post-mortem room, and I was there, that didn't happen. I'm telling you, we're near to an election, and the AFC is going to contest the election, and we see how much votes Hughes will have. Let's start to take calls and hear what people have to say. Good evening. Good evening. So a lot of people want to get you. Oh, that's irritating. So many people want to get you and somebody come on the phone. Good. So we can open the lines now and hear your take on the videos I show you. Hello?
Yes. Good night. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Freddie.
Sir, there's a lot. Hello? Just wasting time and people want to get through.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening, sir.
Freddie. Hey, nobody. Hello?
Yes, sir, go on.
Yeah, by this thing terrible. I tell you, this thing terrible, terrible. You understand? Right, Freddie? Them people is, when they in parliament, before they look for good solution, the opposition them, before they look for good solution to this problem, them walk out from parliament, they walk out, all of them walk out from parliament and go and join the protesters them and fueling the protest them with all kind of nonsense to go and loot and do a set of mad beat up people and rap people from this road. You understand? What them poor Chinese got to do with them, with anything with this? You understand? They got to collect them things. This is the only thing that people know to do, Freddie. Cause confusion in the country. And I think that's why they got to sit down all the time as opposition in this country. Because that's the only thing they know for do good. Corrupting, set you up, and call out the thugs and the hooligans and then thieves. You understand? Break up, burn up people things. That's the only thing that people know for do. Call up Barbies, call out people from Barbies, call out people all over up East Coast, one side and do all kind of thing. That's the only thing that people know for do. That's the way how them want to govern this country, by violence. You know, anything that want to get to it, violence. And this man, Aubrey Narkin, like he done, like he did, like a dream.
Be careful, sir. Don't get this program into any legal problem. Be careful. Be careful how you describe him, Mr. Norton. Please.
You know, the way how he attacked, the way how this man attacked, he gave me one sense that he done proud. He proud of everything what happened. That will give him a points more so that he go win the election. Not go win the election. He failed the Guyanese people. He failed everybody. All the leaders them from the opposition failed the Guyanese. Fail all the Guyanese them in this country of the nonsense what they're doing. You understand? You will go out and fuel a protest when you could make peace.
Okay.
You go out there and make peace. No, that don't work, sir. But them children will get born and shot them out. Go to tell assets and them people. Them things just make them people glad, When them things just happen, they just feel rejoiced. They just feel so nice when them things just happens. When they see Lucky Dollar, the people loot Lucky Dollar out and them things.
Okay.
Them feel,
All right, we got. Okay, we got a lot of calls we got a lot of calls coming in. So you make your point. We got a lot of calls coming in.
Okay.
Thanks.
That's my contribution.
Okay. Hello.
Hey, good night, Freddie.
Good night.
On air?
Yes, you are on air.
Okay, yeah. Regarding this whole situation in the past week in Guyana, right, with the police. It's a culture. It's a culture in the police force in Guyana. And yeah, we can blame all these polices and all the top hierarchy and everybody, politicians, but it's a culture. And to get things moving and in a different direction, in the right direction, you need to change the culture. How do you go change in the culture? You start from the bottom up, right? So what you do firstly, you make the police salary lucrative, very, very no private sector in anywhere in Guyana or the Caribbean must be able to compete with it. What you do, the recruits must be highly scrutinized. So you give people incentive to join the police force, and people with integrity you're looking for now. So first and foremost, you must complete high school. It's a must. Minimum 5 subjects to get. You must be so competitive to get that people must fight to get into the police force. Once you get in there and you have character and you have integrity and so on, you're going to do the job. And it's a transit. It's going to take a while, 5-10 years to do, but you got to start from there. Because politicians, they don't care. All of them. You see who is in government there now? They don't care. They're hypocrites. Put them as opposition tomorrow morning, you see what they do. So everything has to be changed, and in terms of governance, we need to change the constitution. There are a lot of things we need a federal system in there. You don't know you need that. That system we have there in Guyana, it's outdated. It's not going to work. And regardless of who go in there, the opposition always going to try to pull it, always going to spread negativity and all of that. So we need to start. We need a fresh start, and you got to change people's mindset.
Okay, sir. Okay.
But they got to start with the police force first. If somebody wants to go into the police force, they must have people go in and check the battle and see the kind of friends, the environment they live in. So once these people get into the police force, it's going to get better. But
all right. Thanks for coming through. Okay. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Am I on? Is this the Freddie show?
Yes, sir. Go ahead and try to make it brief. There's a lot of calls coming in.
That's fine. I just want to say one thing. Let's just say for all sakes that the girl drowned in that pool, right? Did the police test whatever was on the floor in that room to see what they were hiding upstairs? Someone had mentioned that there is kind of looking white substance on the ground. They had to be hiding something upstairs. Why isn't the police testing what they found on the ground? That's all I want to say. And I would like the police to tell me why they ain't gonna test that place yet.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye. Hello? Hello? Yeah?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, go on. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, go on. Go ahead.
Space here. Yes, let's have a breathing space here. You take your kids. 20, you guys go to.
Hi, good evening.
Could you speak up a bit?
Of you and your family to a mall to walk at the mall. And when you is it your right? Hello?
Yes, go on, sir. Please make it quick. The phone's ringing all the time.
Hi, good evening, sir.
To look after your kids. Everybody, I understand, is a sad death. But the grandparents, nobody asking where she was. Number 2, Darren Wade, which is the lawyer for the family. He was there, the one that neutral person. He was there, he saw it. And then he gave his verdict. The guards drive-by ground it. Number 3, the police are, I use the word on your show, they know that this is going on. Can they secure some people at the Georgetown House? The family go in. The rest, as you rightly said Monday night, that there is an all conference 2 blocks away. They block. And you know that you got this and you know how what's going to go on. Can they put police on the streets and block the Georgetown officer? You got 6 police officers both sides. They're going to control a crowd going into the office, like a man coming to your house and coming to kill you, and then everybody is there in your yard, the police and in the I saw 5 police at the step without any guns or anything. The police are responsible for law and order. How long more can the Chinese people suffer? From 1980 to now, aren't we learning anything? And I hate to say it, the president is trying his best for the people, but 90% of riots and the receivers are the Indians. When are we going to friggin' wake up and help?
Watch your language. Watch your language, sir. Watch your language.
Yes, no, but what I'm saying to you, what the language, what these people are doing and the cuss and the media and everything, look at what the Indians are tolerating as soon as a fire light. Police should there and spray it out and open the road. Don't give them the right to block roads. Look at those three, what those three kids have done to the people. Do you hear any Indians climb up and they say, these are Indians, like all the Indians who got a heart to the people? I am not pulling the line of racism. All I'm saying, everybody heart go to the kid that wrong, that is wrong, not Indians go and they sacrifice it, the PPP sacrifice it, Norton they sacrifice it. There is a woman from Jamaica or somewhere that she doing black arts and she saw Adrian coming to her the morning. Look at YouTube and she's reading palm and she see everything, who killed she and who killed she and who raped she and who break up her body. Where are these people now today who have gone through all the lies, even to the opposition leader? They think that they will destroy the country. You know how much of the people that coming to invest in this country know this is Haiti. Guyana becomes Haiti, right? How long more does Guyanese will rise up and know that in New York that they got Walgreens, in the Bronx and Brooklyn, they robbed them, they closed the store. They got to walk 20 miles to get that. Do they want in Guyana that all the areas that's lower down, that people stop going to push up and the Chinese coming? What did the Chinese has to do with the murder? Why the rape? And the police cannot do nothing. The police are 90% wrong for everything they do. They know a riot going to come or there's anything over 50 people going to protest. The police got to be prepared. Go and do law and order. You're not stopping them for protest at the two sides of the street. No, you're not stopping them. Let them protest. Keep the street open. Look how much things that was done to the people of Guyana in the PNC to date in 1966.
All right. You're going. You made your.
But you got to understand.
You made your
this
point.
thing has to stop.
Okay,
This
sir.
police got to be more vigilant to save the Guyanese people, not India, the Guyanese people, because you have destroyed where you worked for 20 years. You have just destroyed all that. Nobody got confidence in Guyana, and the police force in Guyana. I'm not calling for resignation. All I'm calling, Monday is the funeral. The police will go with 20 people and say, we want to have peace and let me carry roses and get everybody. They got to go with the batons and the guns and wait for the rioters.
Okay, sir. Okay. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, sir. Lost that call. Okay. Hello?
Yes. Hello, I just want to ask
Yes, just make.
I just want to ask one question.
Yes,
Did
sir.
anybody went in to the pool and search this child? Why?
I don't think so. I don't think so. No, I don't think. Hello? No, I don't think anybody went into the pool. Good. The lines are open. Let's hear what you have to say. Sorry about that call just now. I don't know what happened. Good. So the last caller said, and that's something that has been asked, and the blame is being put on the police, rightfully, that the police should have searched the pool if you're at a big hotel. Good evening.
Good evening, Freddie.
Good evening.
How are you doing, man? Listen. Hello?
Yes, sir.
So I want to touch on the Double D restaurant.
You want to touch on what?
On the Double D restaurant a little bit.
The Double D restaurant?
Yeah, that's where the child was murdered.
Yeah, the Double D hotel?
Yeah, hotel, sorry.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, the problem with there is that I think since 2012 there was a murder here in the pool. I don't know if people heard about it. Since 2012. Double D hotel, sorry. Where the child was murdered. Yeah.
Yeah, go on, sir.
Yeah, where the child was murdered.
Yeah, go on. Hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Sir, go on.
Yeah, I knew that in 2012, I'm not hearing myself. Yeah, yeah. No, in 2012 there was a murder here in 2012 at the hotel. Hello?
So you said that 4 times. Go on.
Yeah, and there were 5 other instances where murders were happening. So why is it that this hotel owner is doing this thing? That's my question. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Hello? Hello?
Hi, good evening, Freddie. How are you doing?
Hello? Yeah, go on. You're on the air.
Hi, Freddie. I, unfortunately or fortunately, just look at David Hines. If I can use the word disposition or this program or whatever. And I want to ask you something. You're someone who I have looked up to for 30, 40 years maybe in my life as an intellectual person. How did you find yourself with those guys? When I listen to that jackass, the man, oh God, I don't know how he gets a doctorate. I don't know how he becomes a professor. I can't find word to explain that jackass, and they can sue me if they want. I'm using the word jackass.
Well, I wish you wouldn't use it. I don't think he could sue you for calling him a jackass. I never heard about that, but anyway, go on.
No, again, I'm gonna ask you a question. How did you associate yourself?
That's a long story. People life go through phases. Some people marry 3-4 times, and you would say, how did you get involved with that man or that woman? I can't explain that. If we have coffee, I can explain it to you. It's a long thing in which I was idealistic. I am philosophically an anarchist. I believe power should always be tamed, and people should be critical of power. But they asked me a question that will take hours to answer.
Whenever I come to Guyana, myself and you will definitely answer.
Yes. I will tell you about the stages of my life and why I was with the WPA, why I campaigned for the AFC, why I originally started with the PPP. So good. Anything else?
Well, the other thing that I don't know if that bothers me is that all the evidence shows that this child actually died of drowning. And, well, we don't, I don't know, man, but there's some questions also there too, whether she was forcibly drowned or whatever. However, I would like to know how it's justifiable to people like Nigel Hughes and the jackass from George's Chicken to say they're going to...
I thought you agree you wouldn't call people that. I don't think somebody could sue you for calling them a jackass, but you don't know. But Please, let me say on this program, I disassociate myself from.
What word do you expect me to use?
Let me say, I disassociate myself from the use of that word, and this program has a disclaimer. But someone like you should, maybe
All right, so I take that back. I'm sorry, I take that back.
All right, good man.
And another thing, those little babies, oh my God, my heart bleeds to them. I cry every second of my life when I noticed it. Acid was thrown into those child's face. I mean, how does that apply to Adriana's death?
Well, according to Nigel Hughes, there was probably a protest right there, and the agent provocateurs invaded the protest and threw acid on the children. That's the Nigel Hughes explanation, because he is saying agent provocateurs invaded peaceful protests. So there must have been some peaceful protests in that area, and of course, that is absurdity. But anyway, thanks for coming through.
Thank you, man.
Okay, bye.
Hello?
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Hi, good night. Freddie, so I want me to sense on this. What we're seeing here right now in Guyana is a well-organized movement by the PNC, by the supporters on social media to promote this agenda, using this girl's death. We all know it's a divisive agenda. And, what is so sickening about this whole thing, and as a father, if this happened to my child, and my child, under say circumstances, have to do a post-mortem, at least I will get some relief if I find out that, hey, my child wasn't raped, wasn't strangled, didn't from plant post trauma. I would feel some relief. But look how these people, they want to get the result of a brutal death. How sick and twisted of a mind you have to have to want to get a result like that. It's so sickening to see how this child's death is being used. And as you rightly said, these people are not concerned with Adriana. They see her as a stepping stone, as an opportunity to promote their own agenda. And I do hope Adriana parents can one day realize how their grief is being manipulated and used for political gain. These people are just twisted and sick. It's just a sickening thing to think about. No parent would want to hear that his child died brutally, but these people want that. They want to get some kind of result showing that, which is not there, and it's so sickening, man. It's really messed up. So that's all like that.
Okay, sir. Thanks for coming through. Good evening.
Good evening, Freddie.
Yeah, go on. You're on the air.
Freddie, I want to raise one point. Everybody calling on their opinion. I know if someone died by drowning, the normally takes 3 days before the float. How somebody died by drowning could float in 20 hours? It's something very sketchy. I want to clarify. Ask anybody, nobody bring up the topic. It's very strange in a situation what I'm looking at. What do you think you could contribute to that?
Okay, that's it, sir?
Whether it's in a pool, a trench, or a river, or where, if you die by drowning, it takes you 3 days before the body floats. Am I correct?
Okay. Anything else?
That's it for now. I see nobody raise a topic about that situation.
Okay. Okay, bye-bye. Hello?
Yes, I was working at with the
searching at the pool. And that caller just now that said that.
Come on.
Yes, the person that called about 3 days people taking to float, knowing the world and the history. It's after 14 hours, 18 hours, people can float.
Yes. Good evening.
Hello, Freddie.
Yeah.
I have one question. Can you tell the viewers them if you Madras people deal with those sacrifice stuff or not?
I'm not getting you clearly. Could you talk slowly?
I said, can you tell the viewers if Madras people deal with sacrifice like that for the little girl?
If Madras people what?
Deal with sacrifice.
I have no idea about what you're talking about, sir. Thanks for coming through. I don't understand that thing about Madras and sacrifice. I'm not getting him very clearly. Good. Time has just gone. 1 hour. Good evening.
A very good evening to you, sir. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Hi. I got 2 things that I wanted. I know there's a lot of things going on right now, but I just want us to be balanced because everybody got their own opinion in everything. However, I want you to look back at some things that happened. Recently, we had some visitors in our country pertaining to our cultural pattern and the loss of culture in our country. I've made this statement already on this program, where that culture plays a critical role in our nation, and I believe it's the lifeblood for every nation to have cultural presentation and cultural displays in every nation. But you've seen a decline of cultural events in our country, and I can name a number of them. However, Guyana will be celebrating independence not too long from now, and you have not heard anything but our independence, where it will help X, Y, and Z, what's not. But it's very much important to the people, to our younger people, right, about our independence.
Okay.
That's one.
Quickly, sir. The phone's ringing all the time. Quickly.
Yeah. The next one that I wanted to raise is that we have some ongoing issues in our country. When I mean issues, we've seen a regular pattern with fires and with stories with officers, etc. What are we doing as a people? We have a ministry that come back to this again. We have a ministry that controls these institutions. We have a ministry that controls these institutions. And look at what's going on for the past years. There are people sitting in office too long. Those people need to remove from office and give others a chance. Now, I just say this. Look at this. I would be taking longer.
Okay, sure. Yes. The phone's ringing all the time.
Hear this. The United States government sanctioned the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs. You telling me that only the permanent secretary operates alone in the ministry? There is a body.
there is a body there. The admin department needs to remove and give another portion of people a chance.
Okay, sir. Right. Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello?
Hello, good evening, Chet. Freddie.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, are you aware that there's a photo going out there, like some high-resolution imagery was done on Guyanese Critics, part of Guyanese Critics video that he did at the pool there?
No, I'm not aware of that.
No, but the body is showing on the imagery, the body is wrong. So Travis Chase was to get the information. It was sent to him. You hear that?
So you're saying when Michael Rodriguez, Guyanese critic, when he filmed the thing, when you put high resolution application to it, it is showing a bulk.
It is showing up like the body is there. If you look on the image, Travis Chase has that photo there, whereby if you look on your
So
left,
who applied? Where's the source of this?
No, well, critics there. That is guy. No, it's there. It's going. You're gonna see it tomorrow. People getting this information.
Okay, somebody took that thing and okay. But then, if what you're saying is so, the problem is solved because he went.
Because there's a high resolution.
He went to Wednesday.
Because when critics was saying you can see the water clear, but then he didn't really confirm 100% at the end. When he was.
So you saw this thing? You saw it?
Yes, I know about it.
No, I didn't ask you that, sir. I now know about it because you telling me you know about it. Did you see?
Telling you, I have it there.
You've seen it?
Yes, if you look at the image that.
I don't know, but I'm just going to say this before you go off.
Yeah.
We have something called artificial intelligence and AI, and it could create some incredible images. So I'm just warning you, be careful with AI, okay?
Because as I'm saying, it's going wrong. That image is going wrong.
You talking about a different thing. I just tell you, just bear in mind what AI could do.
Yeah, well, I don't know if it's AI did that, but as I said, it's going wrong.
Okay, well, tomorrow I will,
Yeah, and next thing to, Freddie, the police officer that died that crashed into some bridge by,
I read about it, yeah.
I think it's a negligence on the person who responsible for, like, putting up those road signs and these kind of things, because if you look at the double lane, the highway, the East Coast Highway from Annandale, if you're coming from the east, there is nothing to show that, well, this is the road, there's a median in the middle.
Pardon
me?
But if I crash into one of those signs, nothing will happen to me because I observed the
let me say, coming from the East Coast where the road,
I don't think I could ever get killed if I hit a tree or if I hit a culvert. Nobody could die if they hit a tree or a culvert because you got to observe the speed limit.
No, if you coming from the East Coast where the 4-lane road started, there's a curve in the middle of that road, right? There's no reflector to show, well, here's a curve on that road, it's in the middle of the road there, and you can drive into that thing.
Yeah, but you could.
And also, if you look at the bridge by Lamar, over the Lamar Canal at Sheriff Street also, I think the wall, those walls, they need proper reflector because you might try to pull in. Let me say you don't know the area, you're trying to pull in your left side. Now you drive into the wall there at Lamar, over the Lamar Canal there within the street. So these are just two things I'm highlighting. There's so many.
People got a lot of. Don't worry about that. I've seen those things all the time, man.
Yeah, people in authority who are responsible for this thing doing.
People want to call in. People want to call in.
Something just endless because must have to be somebody responsible.
Anyway, good. People want to call in about the Adriana Young thing, but
anyway, Freddie, you have a nice.
Yeah, yes. I take your point. I travel on the road all the time, and some of these signs That should. I think most Guyanese who drive on the road know that.
No, but then
a lot of these
they're
things.
coming in this country, foreigner rent
Yeah.
cars and all this kind of thing, and they're coming into the country. So, what are we gonna do for that if we're gonna promote tourism?
Yeah. All right.
Okay, then.
Okay. Bye bye. Time is really flying. So, gentlemen, did you hear what the gentleman just? Good evening.
Freddie.
Yeah, lower your volume.
Volume?
Yeah, I mean.
Freddie.
Yeah. Hello.
Freddie, you hear?
Yes, everybody's hearing you. You're on the air.
Okay, calling from Canada here.
Okay.
I talked to you last week. I said I wasn't getting on your program.
Well, you got through now.
Yes, I try. Now I do get through. Anyway, can I identify myself on air or not?
You could do what you want. It's up to you.
Okay. I am from Phoenix, Legwan, Guyana. My name is Darapal, and I read a lot of this story about that child that kept killed or died. Sorry, I shouldn't say killed. I retract that statement there. But there was a lot of conflicting reporting and video about that thing, man. And I even see like the father was trying to make that child a celebrity on that thing. One thing you were saying, my daughter could be like more popular and coffee. And I don't know who more, no one of the video. So I don't know what was all those protests and all those things about. But I don't think that was really to make a claim or stake that that child died and they want justice. I think that's all was about publicity stunt, and that's what I think. I don't know, that's my opinion. And another thing, I don't know how you can burn people property and justify that will be the alternative in that child's death. These people they were ahead of anything. They were trying to do things, I think, and I don't know how the Guyana police force and the government is approaching that case. They're giving these people every right. Like I noticed only when a person of African descent get killed or something, or you have protests. Why when people of Indian descent or other race get killed or die by some means of you know what I'm talking about, like crime? How the Indian people don't protest and burn down and do nothing? I don't know why these people doing this thing. I have planned to come back to Guyana to live, and I don't know. Sometimes you just watch these things and you want to know if these people going to really make you suffer when you go back to Guyana. The last time I talked to Jack there in Canada here, I tell him, I say, you have these criminal motorcycle bandits, and you have all these people, going on the street robbing people. He asked me if that's what I'm afraid of. I don't know how this government, Ali and Jack, what they're really thinking if people just would live like that. And then every time you see Ali make a statement, he's talking about he's gonna make everything, every project he does is like what he says. He have a way to say. He does have a way to say things. He says. Anyway, just want to say that Guyana is the next Dubai. How can it be the next Dubai and you can't protect the people in Guyana, much less foreign people? Anyway, let me let somebody else to talk. See you.
Okay, sir. Thanks. You got you at last. Let's hear from you next week, Friday.
When I come to Guyana, I want to see you.
Okay, you have my cell phone. It's on the screen there.
Yes,
6145. Right, just call me.
All right. Yes.
Good. Hello? 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 No, that's a wasted call. Hello? Yes, hello?
Pretty good day. I am a little disappointed in people like you, Freddie, because you're supposed to be an intellect and you're supposed to be very smart, right? Now, these are things that you could find out easily. That the larger the body, the longer, the easier it comes up on the top of the water. The faster it surfaces, so to speak. The smaller the body, it takes longer. That body can take 3 to 4 days. You can Google these things. It's in a book. So an investigator would know these things. They would know it firsthand that it takes 3 to 4 days for a body to float, to surface. So when the person says, one of your callers says, it takes 18 hours, that's foolishness. So when that child died, that child's supposed to float in 3 days. The deeper the water, it takes longer because of current. But like a pool, if nobody is looking, it takes days to find that person, to surf it. So that's what I'm trying to say to you. And I hope you could research it before you do your program so people could gain knowledge. You know what I mean? That's all I have to say.
Okay, sir. Bye-bye. Guys blaming me because he wants me to respond to people when they call in and they say wrong things. If I keep doing that, we wouldn't have a show. We wouldn't have an hour and a half. I would just keep responding to people. You call in and you have your say. People want to have their say, and they should have their say. So I can't comment on everything a call is. You know how many calls come in? I can't comment on all of them. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening, sir.
Yeah, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Yeah. I'd just like to make a couple points. Since I would say AFC put out the narrative of 32 is greater than 33. What they did, they created
34, sir. 34. 34, not 32.
Or 34, right. But they created a following of gullibles, and they realized then that they could tell a particular group of people anything and they can believe them. And we see that repeated itself when the cash plant was sharing. In that one of them company thing, the check was only valid for 3 days, when everybody know the check lifespan is 6 months. And people believe the 3 days. So these people know what they got to do. They create a narrative, create a conclusion, and then want the facts to fit in that conclusion. If it doesn't fit in, then it's a big problem. And that is what they did with this little girl incident. They created a scenario that, hey, this girl was murdered. This particular set of people murdered her. Well, then the postmortem will show, well, this is what happened. The investigation or everything will show this happened. If it didn't happen, according to their conclusion, it's called the circular reasoning. And that is what they're doing. Now, the other thing, when we look at a fire that was lit for day. Hello?
Yeah, you're on the air. Keep talking. I am listening to you. I'm listening to you. I can't interrupt you.
It was lit in particular villages, in particular areas, and it was lit with military precision. It was planned. It didn't happen haphazardly. Now, the other thing that we see that absent is the People Progressive Parties, public relation, if they got a public relation machinery, you're hearing them, you're hearing from Vice President Barrett and President Ali. What happened to the machinery? Do they have a PR?
That's it, sir? Hello?
Yeah, the other thing with AFC and if they on PNC, if they're gonna move forward in the future, they gotta get youthful leaders, people who would think futuristic. They gotta get people who could think development, develop their party, develop their image, and portray that a new image. They can't come back with this old image with a pushing all the time. Always, I feel though that with this girl incident is that I hope that they get a good closure, and somebody, probably the government that who is responsible, it should be counseling the family, talking to them too. The family didn't understand. To me, the family don't understand what is the postmortem and what is supposed to be outcome of the postmortem. They're supposed to be engage these people and educate them along those lines. You just can't call for an investigation, call it for FBI, call it for this, but you don't know what was the procedure. You don't know that these things have other, that the conclusion may not fit into your perception, but they can be factual.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye. Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good night. You see, the opposition, the PNC, they're really teaching these people that police can do people nothing whenever they protest. So these protesters are living with that the police can do them nothing. So they rape, they rob, they beat, they do what they like. Unless police have a power to deal with these people very seriously at moment, this kind of protest will not stop. Have to stop them by force. Because it's the Indian people suffering, 95% is Indian people suffering. And it's Indian people working, building this country. They are the ones building this country. The other people only they work and have party and dance, and that's it. Indian people work and save and build and develop the country, provide force and all.
So you have a right to your opinion, and this program provides you with a platform. But I'm uncomfortable when you're saying other races don't build Guyana. Other races did, and other races are still building Guyana. I don't think you should say that, but you're entitled to your opinion. Go ahead.
Okay, sorry for that part, but mostly, okay? So the police need to deal to these people whether who they are. Unless the police do that, we will live in this state all the time. And every little thing they will take and go on, protesting, rioting all over the place. That they're destroying the infrastructure, suffering the people. Then tomorrow they will start to build again. So we hope these things, these opposition leaders can teach these people properly. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Well, I can't believe our time. We just have 7 minutes more to go. So let's go on with the calls. We have 7 more minutes to go. So. Good evening. Good evening. Hello.
Hi, good night. This is Critic.
No, sir, this is not Critic.
Who is this?
Good. So, good evening. Hello? Oh, this calling program sometimes. This calling program sometimes you find some amusing people. The guy called in and wants to know if this is Critic. Good evening.
Hi, Mr. Frederick.
Yes, sir.
Good night, sir.
Good night.
Can I get Mr. Critic's phone number, please?
if you could have Mr. Critic phone number. I don't think I have permission to give Mr. Critic phone number out to people I don't know. I don't think that's a proper. I don't think that's a proper thing to do. I don't think I could give out the man's phone number like that. Suppose I don't know who I'm giving it to. If somebody who I know asks me for his number. So anything else? Anything else you want to say? Good evening. Hello?
Good night, Freddie.
Yes?
Good night, Freddie.
Good night. You have to lower your volume.
Okay. Freddie?
Yeah. You have to lower your volume.
Yeah. Hello?
Yes.
I'm saying other than Critic video, was there any other videos of people searching the pool?
I don't know, sir. I can't say I know. I know there was a video by Critic. I don't know, but as we stand now speaking tonight, I'm not aware of any other video, though there may be, but for me, I'm not aware.
Yeah, but they keep saying but video, why they don't show the families them searching the pool?
Yeah. You got.
Why they don't show the other videos with the families in the pool and searching the pool? You hear the truth?
Well, I don't know if the family went into the pool and searched the pool. I'm not aware that.
Even when Critic went by the age, he just shine on top. You never really do a thorough search of this stuff. Video didn't show the age big part. You didn't put the camera down below and check it over there. You just got something on the top over there. Where is the videos that it searches pool?
That's a question I can't answer, sir.
Well, I hope somebody call in and tell you about the videos.
Okay, I hope so.
Call in and show the videos.
I hope so. Okay. You got bad feedback. Thanks for coming through.
Okay,
bye-bye.
you have a good night.
You too. Good. 4 minutes remaining on the program. 4 minutes remaining on the program. I hope when you join the program, you saw some of the videos that we show. And I hope you have learned from some of those videos. I mean, it was a terrible night on Monday. Even the next day, people, I live opposite Marseille Movie Town. Marseille Supermarket was closed all. Hello, good evening.
Hi, is it Freddie?
Yes, go on.
Freddie?
Yes.
I just want to warn the people that, like people, when it's going to be funeral, to stay home.
The funeral is Monday. Well, I don't think you should warn people that should stay home. The police have to do it. The police have to do their job.
But the police not doing nothing, brother.
Well, the police have to know that at that funeral there may be unpredictable behavior. So they should. I am sure they can't make such a mistake as they made with the Georgetown Hospital.
I understand the part, but the police and the army are to cover East Coast, East Bank, right? They're going to cover make a makeshift barrack and be prepared. That's how we do the military. You make a makeshift in every way and secure all over. The military and the police are to come out and be there to protect people. Enough is enough. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The wrong people do the wrong things. And we have to refuel them. And you got to do that. You got to put them out there, man. You got to put them out there. So I've had enough of it.
whoever the hotel, they got to be responsible for the crime. Whoever did wrong, they'll be responsible for the crime. But that innocent people, man, you gotta stop up now. You understand? And I know you remember if you do it right, the way it is. What's happening? So we want him to come back again. So he got to do a mayorship. Barracks, East Coast, East Bank, he has to give all over. But bring out the army and military. You understand? They got to pay for it. Right? They're there. Let's do the duty now, man. Right? Innocent people getting killed. It's enough. Because we over here, nobody want to come back to Guyana. I don't want to come back. I had enough of it. It changed my mind already. It changed all my friends' mind. We have planned to go back to Guyana. To do investment in Guyana. But it's going over good, man. It's going to be on. You understand? We get whatever happened there, whoever responsible is, they got to go to jail. Right? From the police or whatever. They did the crime, they got to do the time. But now we innocent people, man. Enough is enough. Good night, Freddie.
Okay. Good night, sir. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Good. Our time has caught up with us. I am going to, as I normally do, I am going to count from 1 to 10. And if there are no calls, then that's it. Our time has come. And so we got to go. I always say, since this program began almost 3 years ago, we have to look at the operators. They have to go out. So our time has come. I'm going to count from 1 to 10. And if there, within that time, if there's a call, we will take it. If not, that's it for Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's it. Our program has come to an end for this week. Have a very, very enjoyable, mentally satisfying weekend. Life goes on. We must enjoy it, and we must make sure we contribute to the enjoyment of others. Live and let others live. That's what we came down into the world to do. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for staying with the Freddie Kissoon Show for almost 3 years. I hope we provided this evening a forum for you to offer your opinion. On behalf of our operators, stay good. Have an enjoyable weekend. Catch you later. Bye-bye. We'll see you on Monday.